Ever notice how some teams, businesses, and movements seem to effortlessly generate momentum while others struggle or completely fall apart? It's not luck, it's resonance. When individuals align with a shared frequency, something extraordinary is created in that dynamic. Innovation accelerates, problems dissolve, and success compounds and magnifies. In this video, I'm going to break down the principle of collective resonance, one of the seven Aeonic principles, and show you how to align with the right energies to build thriving teams, thriving businesses, and thriving communities and relationships. So, a lot of teams out there are really chaotic, they're disorganized, and others are highly aligned and highly energized to work together and co create in synchronicity. There's a huge difference between these two, and it really comes down to alignment and misalignment. It's resonance. Hi, I'm Jeff Howell, the creator of Epic Mind Visions, where I like to explore ancient wisdom and how it coincides with futuristic insights to help us create lives of clarity, purpose, and success. Today, we're going to dive into the principle of collective resonance, the one that shows us how unified energy within groups, teams, and movements can amplify the impact and the creation, create breakthroughs, and lead to exponential success. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to build a culture of resonance in your business and as yourself within yourself as a leader and in your personal life, and how to avoid some of the destructive effects of disharmony. So, in my experience as an entrepreneur in multiple businesses, I really have felt the scarcity and the perspective of being a lone wolf along the way, and how those deals never worked out. It was the wrong people, the wrong time, the wrong idea. I didn't have the intention, I didn't put the time and effort into really figuring out my core values and making sure that everything I do is intentional and creating the alignment with those principles that I want to see brought forth. So collective resonance is really the phenomenon where individuals align their energy together, align their focus and their purpose to create an amplified field of influence out into the world. This is what makes legendary teams, legendary results, powerful brands, and world changing movements possible. And here's how it works. Every single group out there has some collective frequency, whether they're aware of it or not. It can be really coherent and pure and aligned, or it can be chaotic and dissonant, depending on the approach of everything in the team, all of the cultural aspects of it, the mission, the values, all of those things put together. So the stronger the shared vision and the values, the greater the energy, the greater the momentum, and the greater the impact that's going to result from that. So high resonance groups generate more creativity, they create more innovation, and they're really good at problem solving very quickly, overcoming challenges very quickly. And well, the contrast here is like lower resonance groups, they are going to feel resistance, they're going to feel friction, stagnation. You have internal conflict that's going to hold them back from moving forward. And this is really based in science. Science is more and more supporting these principles of energetic flow on the base and quantum levels. So part of the science around this is mirror neurons and group behavior. Teams literally synchronize brain activity when they're deeply aligned. This is proven by science. On the quantum level, we have the principles of quantum entanglement in human systems, and the shared intent of individuals links them together, potentially across distances. You don't even have to be in the same room. It can be across distance, creating coherence beyond physical proximity. And then science around flow state and group dynamics, where individuals sync up for productivity and innovation so that it really magnifies that, and that those skyrocket in the process. If you think about championship sports teams. It's not just the talent that makes the biggest difference. It's when they can resonate together and enter a flow state together. That's when they perform at superhuman levels. That's when they're able to create things that co-create things that did not exist, that you didn't think were possible. And if you compare that to a team of people who are really talented in sports or in the entrepreneurial space, but they just can't get it together. They can't work together. All of that potential is wasted really due to this misalignment in the collective. So there's a lot at stake here. And really, the awareness around here is what is going to make the biggest difference to create that dynamic so that all of this can be brought forth into the reality of the teams that you lead, the teams that you're creating, the business, the product, the service that you're delivering. All of these things matter. So frequencies, when they do sync up, they amplify. That's true if you think about an orchestra. When you have all of these instruments playing together and they play at this on the same note or notes in a scale to make a chord, and it all resonates, it amplifies the sound and the power and the real effect on everyone who's listening, right? This is the power of collective resonance. And in business and entrepreneurship and leadership, this is key to exponential growth, to creating exponential growth. The most successful businesses aren't just well run. They have this level of resonant culture that you want to be able to cultivate within that team and within that business and with even interactions with the clients and so forth. So a key question here is your business just a collective of individuals, or have you created the dynamic and the culture so that everybody on your team can come together in a unified force and frequency to put out into the universe? A couple of great examples of this are like Tesla. Uh, Tesla is not just an automaker, right? It's a visionary movement towards creating the electric cars that it creates, right? And employees are fans, customers are diehard fans. They just love the brand. Apple's another example of this. People love to use their products. It's design driven. It's that resonance that Steve Jobs created when he was in charge of Apple. And he really focused on those things to create that dynamic. And it's paid off very well for him, right? So how do we create the right energy in these movements? Leadership in general, it's not just about having the skill or the ability to tell people what to do. It's about creating the right energetic conditions so that all of your team can start to resonate together. A good question to ask yourself if you are in leadership or you want to be in leadership is, are you forcing this control upon your team, or are you cultivating alignment through your own example, through the ways of being that you're expressing into the team? These are extraordinarily important things to focus on. If you look at Elon Musk, whether you agree with everything that he does or not, he has a leadership style that is very demanding, but he is such a powerful resonance as a visionary of the companies that he leads and the mission that he wants to see brought forth, that people buy into that vision, they buy into that mission, and they're willing to apply their own life force energy towards making it a reality. So this is really an important thing to think about in leadership. Relationships and social groups in general, it's just really it's really important to find that right collective frequency so that you can move closer towards the goals that you want to see brought forth. And the people that you surround yourself in all of your endeavors are what is going to really ultimately determine the trajectory of your life, the trajectory of your potential success or your actual success. The mindset, emotional state, all of these things play into it. And the more that you purify those frequencies, the more it's going to be magnified and amplified into everything that you do, again, with intention. So a key question is, are you in a group that amplifies your energy, or does it drain it? If you're around other people who are misaligned with your mission, they're not on board with you and your vision, that's going to be draining. You're going to be dragging people towards your vision. And you don't want to do that. You want to find the people who resonate. You want to find the people who are excited and inspired by your vision and want to help you see it brought forth. In mastermind groups, I see this a lot where people come together, and when that resonance occurs, it accelerates the success of almost everybody who's a participant, because everybody is in this high frequency exchange of ideas, of accountability, of inspiration, of information. They're just willing to help each other, and it's a giving, it's a real, comes from a real place of giving and a genuine, authentic support and wanting to see others succeed. If you contrast this to toxic work cultures where there's so much friction, there's so much conflict, it drags everybody into this low vibrational state and cycles of stress, cycles of complication and complexity. That's just, it makes everything a lot more difficult to move forward, and people start to blame each other. They have fears about losing their jobs, different things like that. So this is a huge difference. And in understanding this real idea of collective resonance, it's important to take that and to start to activate it in your life and your leadership. So how do you do that? How do you apply this in real life? Well, one of the first things to do is to clarify the collective vision that you have. Every resonant team or movement starts with clear, inspiring purpose, clear, inspiring mission that everyone can understand. It's clarified, and uh, that's how you're going to get the intention behind it from everyone involved. So if you lead a team or you lead your business, write down what are those guiding principles that resonate with you, so that you can start cultivating that energy out into your team. And then as you move forward and apply that and get clarity on your own values and mission, you want to curate that into your circle and into all of the people in your environment, all of the people that you lead, and even in your personal relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you and expand you, and who resonate with you. The more that you do this, you change the trajectory of your life. And it's always a course correction. There's always another level. There's always another level that you can reach. So continuously become more and more aware of who is around you and how they're making you feel. What is the energy level? Because you might find that some of the relationships in your life are not serving you, and that's okay. Some those who got us here are not necessarily going to get us to where we want to be, right? And that's okay. We have to constantly up level along the way. So audit those relationships and then amplify your resonance in the with the ones that are helping move you forward, and pull yourself out of the ones that are not in alignment. And then once you have that group around you, create a more group minded flow. The best teams, the best organizations have created this collective flow state that's necessary to amplify all of those activities and actions that you're taking, the doing. It's like the being affects the doing in such a powerful way. So find that synchronization in the group around you instead of the competition and people trying to take each other out. You can be competitive from an accountability and inspiration standpoint, but it's really a, a great thing to infuse to create a supportive environment where everyone can really level up. And then resolve misalignment when you see it as quickly as possible. If an energy in your team feels off, or in some other group that you're involved with, if it feels off, you need to address it as quickly as possible so it doesn't spread and infect the rest of the team or the rest of the group, and then it becomes dysfunctional. Great leaders have the ability to recognize this alignment or misalignment and to ensure that they're constantly course correcting that trajectory. And it might always, like flying a plane. It's you don't point you point it at the destination that you want to reach, but it's always going to be a little bit off course, and you're always going to have to kind of course correct along the way so that you end up to where you want to go. So the great success in life does not come from just working hard, just working harder, or in an individual lone wolf manner, right? It comes from aligning yourself with the right people, the right energy, and the right collective movement within a team or otherwise, a mastermind, for example. When you build this collective resonance and focus on it, you create exponential results with far less resistance. This is flow. This is the amplification of moving and creating things quickly. If this resonates with you, like, comment, subscribe, and join me on this journey. It really helps me reach more people. And I'd like to leave you with a question. What is one time in your life when you felt deeply in sync with a team or a community? Think back about that. What made it work? What was the catalyst that helped create that dynamic? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear that. And until next time, remember, you're not separate from the energy around you. You're shaping it in every moment. Choose to resonate with the future that you want to create.